Hello everyone and welcome to Sonic Shuffle, a game released in 2000 for the Sega Dreamcast. This is a game that I had way back in the day, and it's basically a Mario Party ripoff where the AI cheats and it's basically almost impossible to beat. It's extremely hard.
VMU to save the data in.
So I had a lot of fun playing this game, but it is, as I said, it doesn't matter what difficulty you choose. The CPU cheats like crazy. And then the music like that. I mean, I love the music in the other Sonic games, but that, you know, I mean, they realized that this game wasn't going to probably do too well, so they decided, hey, we're going to make the music a little bit stranger, not maybe hire the composers that you knew for the Sonic Adventure series. Also, I think another major issue with this game is that makes it also very challenging, is that it suffers with performance issues. This game runs at 30 frames per second, but it's like a choppy 30 frames per second. It's like, it varies between 29 to 31 frames per second. And there's a lot of input lag as a result of just how it runs. And it makes it so hard. And then you have that, you know? It's so... I just remember it being so difficult, not in the fact also that the CPU cheats, but the very fact that it's choppy. You will press the button, you're like, I pressed the button. It's like, yeah, you did press the button, but because of input lag and the game not registering your controls correctly, you got all screwed up. So, you know, the recording is probably going to be, you know, a bit choppy. It's going to be choppy on my end. It's going to not look the greatest. That's just how it is. That's just how the game runs. I tried overclocking the emulator. That didn't help. I tried a bunch of settings. That didn't help. I even found a 60 frames per second code, which makes it run smooth, but it basically runs at double the speed. So it's like, okay, that's pretty much useless. We're also not playing this in widescreen because I love to use like the widescreen cheat codes or like hacks and everything. However, it messes up on the 4x3 area where the black bars are. So there are some issues with the widescreen. I'm also using a completed save, which we will see in a moment from Sonic Room, but let's first see how this Mario Party ripoff is by going into tutorial mode, shall we? We're going to go into tutorial mode, learn a little bit about the game, and then we're going to dive into the Sonic Room, learn the amazing story for this game, because oh man, this game has probably the absolute best story of any Sonic game whatsoever. But let's first get a rundown of how to actually play this. So let's see what our game objective is. Sonic, come explain it to us. Now, I have to say, how the characters look, that may be why there's a lot of input lag. If you notice that they look very cartoonish almost. They look really detailed in HD. I'll give it that, but I don't think that's the whole reason for the performance thing. I just think whatever that they decided to do, you know, I'll explain the objective of the game to you. If you heard enough, press up. Okay, I've already heard enough. I've already heard enough. Your goal is to collect the most emblems. You can get them at the end of the stage. There are 4 ways to receive an emblem. So here's our main objective, what we have to get here. These are the Precioustones. It's basically the equivalent to the Mario Party stars. And here's the rings, equivalent to the Mario Party coins. And then get first place in the stage clear minigame. Notice how it says stage clear minigame, because yeah, it's not about like in Mario Party, it was about, okay, maybe if you won the most minigames or got the most coins from the minigames, you will end up winning. This is, whenever the stage is complete, there'll be one final minigame. Oh, if you come in first on that, you could get an extra emblem. It's like, okay, that's, so you could do so well and then screw up at the very end. Or you can complete a hidden quest. Each stage has a hidden quest to complete. I would try to show those off because I don't think I ever really got those back in the day because they just were not important to get. Unless they were mandatory. I believe one of them is mandatory on one of the stages. If 2 players have the same number of emblems, the player with the most rings wins. That's it for the explanation. Do you understand the objective? I hope so. Thank you. I believe her name is Illumina. We will learn more about her shortly. Actually, it is Lumina, not Illumina. Illumina is actually another character in this game, but let's look at the cards, because unlike the Mario Party dice roll, instead we have cards. So it's a little bit less rigged, I guess, because you don't have to roll the dice. You can strategically plan out some of your moves a little bit better. So this is certainly a plus to some degree until the AI starts cheating and knows exactly the number that they need and steals your card that they somehow know is exactly that card. You know, who knows? I'll explain how to use the cards. If you've heard enough, okay, I've already heard enough, woman. There are a total of 8 cards. The number cards between 1 and 6, and the S and Eggman cards. There they are. These cards can be used to move around the board or to attack during a battle. First, let's talk about moving around the board. You can move the number of spaces equal to the number on the card. Special card. With this card, you can steal or trade cards with the other players. That's basically useless. I mean, there is no point in using the special card to steal cards from other players or to trade them, because you can do that regardless of using the special card. That particular feature is useless. However, it says you can spin the card and move 1 to 7 spaces on the board. That is much better to actually use that for that ability to move 7 spaces or to customize where you want to roll. And this is where the input lag will basically destroy your life. Good, because you'll press that button when you think it's time for it to land on 7. And because like, oh wait, input lag, 1. It'll screw you up. It'll screw you up. I wonder what this card is. Oh, Eggman's laughing at us. We'll also hear a lot of, oh yeah, from Eggman as well, so. Eggman card. I think something awful may happen if you use it, yeah. He'll go, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now let's talk about attacking. That's right, this game has battles. Okay, here it is. The outcome of a battle will be decided by the number on your card and the monster's card. You win if your card is greater than or equal to the monster. If you lose, you lose rings. So he's going to choose a 4, there you go. Press A on the number, you will defeat the monster. You also get something special if you defeat the monster with the exact number of its health, but I'll get into that in just a moment here. So I think we're going to talk about that next. Use this card to attack with the character's special attack. So each of the characters has a special attack you can use in battle, which we will also learn about in just a moment. Oh yeah! I wonder what will happen if you use this card in battle. The battle basically ends right then and there. You will not be able to attack, and the enemy will retaliate, and you will lose rings and possibly a turn. I'm sure nothing good will happen. Be careful not to use it. Okay, that's all. Okay, and our last thing is the spaces, the board spaces. Okay, I've already heard enough. Okay, this is the plus ring space. You land on it, you get 3 rings. Okay, minus ring, you lose 3 rings. You can also form combos, so if you get multiples in a row, you can do it up to 5 times, so you can get a lot of rings. You get 3 rings at first, or you can gain and lose up to 15, or if it's the last precious stone, the rings will be doubled from 30 to negative 30. So unlike Mario Party, where there is like a turn limit, and instead this game relies on the precious stone. So however many precious stones you set, that is the number you have to get, and then when you're on the last one, that is when the spaces will double. So there is no turn amount. It could be a very short amount of turns or a very long amount of turns. Now here's something that is a little different in this game. This is the event space. If you land here, a mini game or a mini event will begin. So unlike Mario Party, where there is a mini game after each player's turn, like after all 4 players have taken their turn, there's a mini game. Not in this game. There is not. Instead, you have to land on those spaces, and you could get a mini game, or you could get a mini event. Let me say this right now. The mini events in this game, oh, you thought you were winning? You're going to get screwed over, big time. Eggman will come in and steal all your rings, all your stuff. It's rigged. There'll be instructions on how to play each minigame before it begins, so read them carefully. Yeah, go ahead and read them as carefully as you can, because there's a time limit for how long you can read it before it decides, okay, let's just go ahead and hop on in. Yeah, mini events can be multiple choice or automatic. There are also quizzes. There are some very good ones to help your opponents out and some very bad ones to destroy you. This is a battle space. If you land here, you have to battle a monster. If you win the battle, you'll receive a force jewel. Basically, the force jewels in this game are the items in the Mario Party series. So it could be any amount of item that could help you or hurt your opponents in some sort of way. So I mentioned if you destroy an enemy with the exact number of health that it has, you get 2 of them. So you get 2 items after you defeat an enemy if you defeat it with the same exact health. You can also go to the shop as well. There is a shop. It didn't mention the shop or there's some of the other spaces, but okay, it's fine game, it's fine. And that's it for the tutorial mode. So why don't we head on into Sonic Room, because we're gonna look a little bit in Sonic Room before we actually begin the game. Much like what I did for the Mario Party series, we're gonna do a board per video. So we will start the actual board next time. So we're gonna hop into Sonic Room first, and we're gonna see what the completed save is. Because I did mention I'm using a completed save, and there's a very particular reason for that. And that is because... That's right, Tails. All right. Because this game is extremely hard to get everything unlocked, and I want to show off as much as I possibly can. And I downloaded a completed save online. However, it was only completed for this room, and it did not have these dolls up here. In order to unlock these dolls, you have to complete versus mode as one of these characters and beat a board with one of those characters. I was not about to play through a board 8 times in a rigged game like this that I probably would not win, so I ended up cheating to control the CPU, which really didn't work all that well, but it allowed me to skip some of the aspects of some of the game, and I managed to like make it very, very quick. So each board maybe took like 5 or 6 minutes or so. So I managed to get all of the characters up there. So that is fantastic. So out on the main menu, you probably saw story mode and versus mode. Story mode, we will not be looking at right away. We're probably going to be looking at that at the very end. You just play through the game normally. And when you beat the stage, you move on to the next one and you see the story. And there is slightly different storyline based on the characters that you're playing as. I'm just going to play as Sonic because, yeah, I do not want to play as all the characters to see slight variations with the story. But we're primarily going to be focusing on versus mode. We're going to see each of the boards, and then I'll just do like a recap of all of the story mode sessions, because it's like, oh no. Oh no. So whenever you get rings in story mode, that is when they will come to your bank here. This is basically what you'll be able to unlock stuff. So also in story mode, there are no duels. Duels is only a feature in versus mode, which we will see. And story mode and versus mode has different result screens. So why don't we talk a little bit about what Sonic Room is. You don't have it unlocked by default, but it is unlocked now. Everything is unlocked here. We got a clock up here, which is the accurate time that it is right now. We have our friends who come out and see us. We have the dolls for completing versus mode. We have these two things on the table, which unlock only after you've completed the game once as one of the characters on story mode. Gamma, what are you doing over there? You have Sonic, who just sits here and waves at people. Let's see what's in the computer first. His laptop. It allows us to change some settings here. This is it. This is the only settings we can change. We can change the board spaces to a normal or Chinese characters. Now, this is a Japanese game, so I would imagine by Chinese characters, they could be referring to the kanji that Japanese uses, which is adopted from Chinese. We may look at that, but I don't know. I don't know about that. The card system, this setting really doesn't make all that much sense. There's really no point in this setting because you could set it as normal and it doesn't seem to work as you would think it would. So you have cards in your hand. When you play story mode, those cards are visible to you because only one player. Story mode can only be played for one player. You cannot do multiplayer in story mode. You can have your cards hidden in story mode so that you have to look at the VMU on your Dreamcast. However, this setting does not apply to versus mode. Even if you're doing solo versus mode, which we will be doing, our cards will be hidden on screen, which means we have to put the VMU screen up in the top left, which I will be doing. So this setting is basically useless. Only for story mode, this actually applies. Why would they do that? I have no idea, but it's kind of dumb. It's kind of dumb. We have the photo album here. I mentioned this is where the rings go. This is where you basically buy stuff and unlock stuff. These 4 characters are unlocked by default. Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy. These other characters we would have to unlock by playing through the story mode as each of these characters and buying their bottom right photo. So for example, if we want to unlock Super Sonic, we would have to buy Sonic's bottom right photo, which is basically his final photo for completing story mode. Tails would unlock, let's see, Tails would unlock Big. Knuckles would unlock Chow, and then Amy would unlock a Gamma. So that's basically how you would unlock those. And for the toy chest, if you saw the toy chest out on the main screen, toy box, you would go into here and buy the first picture, apparently, is how you unlock that. Okay? And the toy chest is basically where you can play mini games. So we have all the mini games unlocked, as you can see, 49 out of 49. You would come into here to actually play those mini games if you so desire. You can choose some configuration settings here. It doesn't matter what you choose for the CPU intelligence because they're all rigged. They're all rigged. Over here, the jukebox, we can listen to music. You know, there are some good tracks in here. I think this is one of my favorites. But then you go out here and then it stops playing because why would they allow you to listen to the music outside of the jukebox? Who knows? Who knows? Then we have over here the mini events that you encounter. Notice how it says 30 out of 31. I don't think that there is a 31st. I don't think that there is. Primarily because I remember on my original game file, I played the game hours and hours and hours, never got to 31. This was a completed save. There was not a 31. I think it is... I don't think it's accurate. If there is a 31st and I'm incorrect about this, let me know. Let me know what that 31st is because I cannot click on this. You cannot view them. You don't know which ones you've unlocked or haven't unlocked. I don't have a clue. But regardless, this is something that you just don't have. But so yeah, that's basically all of what Sonic Room is. Now, I do want to mention 2 other bonus little things. If you Dreamcast games were printed on GD-ROMs, not CD-ROMs, so you couldn't necessarily access any of the game files on your computer. However, if you put this game into your computer, it actually came with some wallpaper, and it's basically the wallpaper we will see for the loading screens, which is kind of like dumb. It's not really all that special. It's like stupid stuff. It's like, okay, thank you for the dumb wallpaper. Also, if you noticed during that when we were in tutorial mode, that pink fairy lady, Illumina, there's apparently 2 secrets with her. One of them does not appear to work, but I did check the other one. The other one is if you set your Dreamcast to Christmas Eve, so December 24th, you will actually get access to... She would turn into a character called Knights, which is... Knights has her or his own game. This is what Knights look like. So it's just a little cameo. There's really no point in showing it off. I tested it out, and it's like it's basically nothing. That's basically it. And apparently, if you just set your clock on your Dreamcast to April 1st, April Fool's Day, Viela cameo will make an appearance, which is similar to Knights, but I could not get that one to work. That one did not work for me. I have no idea why, but it just didn't work. So that is the basics of this game. So why don't we learn about the amazing story for this game, because it is, shall we say, pretty good. Pretty good, I must say. So here it is. Maginaryworld. A world in another dimension where Sonic and his friends will embark on a new adventure. A world where dreams and reality coexist. Maginaryworld is held together by the power of the Precioustones, a jewel created from the hopes and dreams of people living in different dimensions. One day, a monster known as Void appears in Maginaryworld and shatters the power of the Precioustones. Without the power of the Precioustones, Maginaryworld is faced with the danger of unraveling at the very seams of its existence. In order to save Maginaryworld, Lumia Flowlight, the Guardian Fairy, sends out a message to the other worlds in search of a hero who can help restore Maginaryworld. The message is sent out in search for someone with courage and heart, and Sonic and his friends receives it. Sonic and his friends must battle not only Void, but also Eggman, who learned of the power of the Precioustones and followed Sonic into Maginaryworld. Receiving a deck of magical cards and force jewels from Lumia, Sonic and his friends must embark on an adventure to restore Maginaryworld. Very good story, I must say. Very, very good. Very, very good. Okay, here are our characters. We have the amazing Sonic here. It has his special ability is the Spin Dash. So each character has a special ability if you use... You don't even have to use anything. It's just something that they end up having here. So if Sonic rolls the same number twice, he will move twice as far. So if Sonic moves 3 spaces on one turn, then plays another 3, he can move 6 spaces. But he cannot do 2 spin dashes in a row, so he cannot do it a third time. And his special attack ability, if you use the S card in battle, is the Lightning Speed Spin Attack, which gives him 1 to 7 damage. So he just has like a roulette, I suppose. Then you have Tails. Tails, Knuckles, and Amy have a special icon on the board that they can move through. So his Tails is Propeller Flight. Tails can move through the air using special tail spaces. So his special attack ability is the Rapid Spin Attack. So he's able to use 2 cards in battle, and he uses a special card, and he can play the 2 other cards after that. And it says he cannot attack if he draws the Eggman card, and if Tail draws a special card, they will be ignored and he will draw another card. So that can be helpful if there aren't too many cards left, and you need to do like maybe 5 damage or 6 damage or so, and you have like a 3 and 3. You have to get very, very lucky for that though. Knuckles, as I mentioned, he can climb, so he can go through his special Knuckle spaces. His special attack ability is the Maximum Heat Attack. So I believe it's basically the same as the Tails. So he can use 2 cards. He can play 2 cards. We have Amy over here. She, much like the other characters, she has a hammer jump, which is a special ability on this stage that she can use. Her special attack ability is the revolving hammer attack, which gives 5 fixed damage. So that can be helpful. That can be helpful. Then we have the unlockable characters here. E102 Gamma. His special movement ability is the rolling mode. So his lower half will change shape if he plays a 4, 5, or a 6. So that's pretty good, 4, 5, or 6. And he becomes immune to minus ring spaces. He's very, very good at avoiding, losing rings. So very, very good. His special attack ability is a gun. Gamma's special attack is triggered when he plays an S card. This sets off 2 roulettes with numbers from 1 to 3. That doesn't sound the absolute greatest, but Chow. So he has no movement ability, so he's already at a bad disadvantage here. So the special attack ability. Lullaby. After using a special card, a battle card is designated. Just as with a normal attack, a roulette will spin with the parameters of the card number. If Chow does not defeat an opponent, the opponent will not retaliate. So basically, if he fails to destroy the opponent will not attack him, which means he will not lose rings and possibly will not lose a turn. Because you can lose a turn, I believe, if you're out of rings and the opponent attacks you. We also have Big. His special movement ability is Froggy. Oh gosh. Big can stop wherever he likes from 1 to 6 if he plays a 6. So very, very good. If you get a 6, you can stop anywhere. So that's actually very, very handy. Froggy will appear and will jump to the next space. Big will then follow. Yep. Then we have Supersonic, Lightning Speed Dash. So he's identical to Sonic's special ability. However, he can also perform that action on the 3rd and 4th. So if you get it says here, if you play a 5, play a second 5, and you move 10, play another one, and you just keep moving faster and faster. His special attack ability is Sonic Rumble. So when he plays an S card, he gets a roulette between 4 and 6. So that can be pretty alright. Then we have non-playable characters here. We have Lumia, a fairy that lives in the dimension of Maginaryworld. She guides Sonic and the others on their adventure. She asks Sonic and the others to collect the Precioustones so she can restore her world, which has been ripped apart by the dark powers of Void. Lumia is a young girl who is full of energy. She looks childish, but talks in a very mature and rational manner. She is stubborn and does not give up no matter how hard a situation is. Then we have Void, a mysterious character who always appears one step ahead of Sonic and the others and destroys the Precioustone. He suddenly appeared at the Temple of Light, which is located in the center of Maginaryworld, and shattered the perfect Precioustone. Thereafter, Void appears in the different lands of the Maginaryworld and further shatters the Precioustone, shattered pieces of the perfect Precioustone. Void is a boy with a far-away look in his eyes and shows no emotion at all. At times, he speaks as if talking to himself and expressing his deep feelings, which have a sense of sadness to them. Then we have Illumina. She is the guardian angel of Maginaryworld who resides in the Temple of Light and protects the perfect Precioustone. When Void shattered the perfect Precioustone, Illumina disappeared from Maginaryworld. She sometimes appears in the dreams of Sonic and the others. She has a warm and mysterious smile and fills the hearts of the listeners with joy and warmth, and her words and the music from her harp. Then we have Eggman, who gets like one sentence or two. Eggman's role in this game is to ruin your day. Learn to expect him to show up whenever things are going well for you. Yeah, he will, to screw us up. Stupid freaking Eggman, I tell ya. Okay, so that is the basic premise of this game. So there are 5 boards in this game. Go into versus mode. Let's see what they are here. Here's the different characters we can play as. It really it doesn't matter right now because, oh yeah, it just randomly chooses. You can't choose your opponent. This does not matter either because, I mean, you know, they cheat. But the boards we have, Emerald Coast, Firebird, Nature Zone, Riot Train, and Fourth Dimension Space. Let me tell you this, I personally am not the biggest fan of really much of any of these boards. I like Emerald Coast. I do not like Firebird. I like Nature Zone. I do not like Riot Train at all. This is probably one of the worst, if not Fourth Dimension Space. These boards mostly suck, in my opinion, but Emerald Coast and Nature Zone is pretty good. So, yeah, next time we're going to be hopping on into Emerald Coast and actually playing this game, this rigged Mario Party game. I'll see you then.